What's up, guys? So, I want to talk a little bit about Motorsport Games and the upcoming NASCAR Heat 5 uh, 22 season update. So, let's start with Motorsport Games, the state of the company. As of this moment, they are in compliance with NASDAQ's requirements to be on the stock market. I'm not going to get into all that stuff. The point is that they are back in compliance. They have maintained a stock value of a minimum of $1 for I think 10 consecutive days. That was the requirement. Whatever. That's neither here nor there. I think that this falls in line with what I've been telling people. These people are not going to just, they're not just going to roll over and die, right? They're going to drag their feet the entire way. Okay? So, um, I don't think any of this is going to matter. I think this is just something that lets people kind of know that they're not dead yet. Um, and by the way, what I want to show you here is they are still hiring, or at least they're posting job offerings, right? Just because they're posting vacancies for jobs doesn't mean they're actively looking for people. They might be, but what this could, and as you could see here, it's as of the 24th, which is within the past week. So we got Motorsport Games lead game designer, right? So you need a lead game designer at this point. You need a physics engineer. We're looking for experienced software engineer to strengthen our development team at Studio 397. As part of Motorsport Games, we develop both R Factor 2 racing simulation and the core simulation technology that underpins all of MSG games. Graphics engineer, front end engineer. So I guess the user interface. Back end engineer, another one. So they need a front end and a back end engineer. So you need two separate engineers, a senior prop artist. So I can't get into all the details of what these jobs entail. The point is, from everything you see here, they are at least presenting the image that they are still looking to hire game developers. That they're still, full speed ahead. Nothing's changed. I think this is just speculation on my part. I think this is a bluff. I think they just want to show like they're moving forward with all their plans, right? You don't want people to think that everything is dead because whatever assets you do own, you're just gonna hurt your own bargaining chip, right? um, or bargaining position, I should say. So they're trying to gain leverage. So they got to put up a front like, hey, we're hiring developers. We need this, we need that. At this point, if you're still hiring developers, remember all these developers that they were hiring and all the money they invested, and I mean, whatever happened to all that. So I think they're just putting up a front, right? Because they want to put themselves in a good position to bargain, right? When people come and let's say they're interested in the NASCAR license and they want to strike a deal, they're trying to just put themselves in a good position. I think the that reverse stock split thing they did, whatever happened, um, whatever they did, it got them back in compliance. They're still on the NASDAQ. So these are the bare minimum things, but they're just showing people we're still here. We're still planning to make games. We're still moving forward. Nothing's changed. I don't believe any of it. I think this is all a bluff. So they could put themselves in a better position just to bargain. Um, I'm really tired of talking about these things. These things really don't interest me that much anymore. I've been talking about this stuff, I mean, just NASCAR games in general for 10 years. And it does get tiring. A lot of times you feel like you're swimming against the tide. No matter what you try, you just don't feel like you're getting anywhere. So, this stuff, I'm just getting tired of it. And I need something that's going to really get me excited again, where I could talk about these things. Trying to follow what Motorsport Games is doing in terms of the stock market and their earnings calls, just trying to find information. It's tedious, and a lot of it is just it's repetitive. And how much more do we need to see? We know this company is on life support, but as I told you 1,000 times, they're not just going to quit. They're trying to squeeze out what they can, from the position that they're in. So they're gonna drag their feet the whole way, and that's what brings me to the NASCAR Heat 5 uh 22 2022 update DLC. And I've had people ask me like, "Hey, are you gonna start playing NASCAR Heat 5 again? Or will you pick it up?" And I gotta be honest, I am not interested in getting it, because not because I'm desperate for a good NASCAR game. At least, with the NASCAR Heat 4 and 5, it's a playable product. And right now we don't really have anything else. All I have for myself is really iRacing, and it's not going to deliver that video game experience. So I've thought about it, and as tempted as I've been to get it, I can't in good conscience go just do it, because for those of you who've been watching my videos through the years, you know how often I've reminded people that how important it is to use your power of purchase to send messages, right? It's it's all well and good that we make videos, and we contact these people, and we use social media to complain, right? That's a big important part of the process. But it doesn't mean anything if you still go out and buy the games, and give these developers your money for meaningless trinkets. Now, I know a lot of you people are looking forward to this DLC because you're desperate. You want something new, whatever it is. And but I cannot, in good conscience, uh, hand over a single dime to Motorsport Games. And that's something you have to keep in mind. If you go and you pick up a NASCAR Heat game, or if you buy any of their DLC, you are giving Motorsport Games your money. And I've told you guys for years, I do not believe in rewarding a bad business practices, a bad business model. And for me, if you want my money, you have to give me something that I actually want, a decent product. And I know people have turned back to NASCAR Heat 5 because of the bad experience with Ignition, and we don't have anything else. So it's like, you know, at least that's a halfway decent product. The thing is, any profits are going to go right to Motorsport Games. And they are on life support right now. And I think any profit they get from that DLC is just going to help them. Now, do I think it's going to help them get on their feet to the point where they can hold on to everything and just stay alive for another year and make more games? I don't think so. However, I think Dmitry Kosko has made more than enough money for being an absolute failure. I mean, I don't know of too many examples of people who've been able to make as much money as he has for failing as badly as he has. This is not his first rodeo. He's been the CEO of other companies that have also failed. So I don't want to reward him. I don't want to reward this company. I feel bad for the people that work there, but if they haven't learned by now that this company, of what it is, they should all have resumes to all the other game developers out there. They should be actively looking for work. Um, and maybe that's why they're looking to hire. Maybe a bunch of people did leave. So I don't know. Um, but don't reward motorsport games. And I know people don't want to hear it. A lot of you are not going to care. You're just going to buy it because, that's all you got is NASCAR Heat. And I don't believe in doing that. And I would urge people, don't do it. Because right now, there's one nail left. That final nail in the coffin. And these guys are on life support. But the people holding that hammer to strike that final nail in the coffin is us as consumers. We can actually end this company. Okay? They are hanging on by a thread. So the more money you give them, even if you think you really need this DLC, you don't. This isn't going to really make the game that much better for you. It's basically skins. Yeah, whatever it is, it's not worth it. I don't want to reward bad game developers, bad business practices. I don't want to do that. So I can't do it. And I urge you not to do it either. So we can end this company. Imagine them releasing that DLC and nobody buys it. That would end them. I know people are going to buy it, but think long and hard. How much do you really need that DLC? And mind you, I haven't even brought up the fact that this company has already proven to you that they don't know what they're doing. Everything they touch turns to shit. Maybe this DLC might turn out to be garbage. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it could. It could turn out to be that way. Why take a chance? And why reward these people? Why help them? Every dime that you give them goes to Motorsport Games. This isn't 704. Okay? And just like somebody that you love who's lying in the hospital on life support and you know there's no hope for them, all you're doing is prolonging the misery. The humane thing to do is to pull the plug. And that's what I'm asking people to do. Don't buy the DLC. And I know a lot of you who have your minds made up, you're not going to care. You're not going to listen to what I'm saying. But just for my own sanity, I had to put that out there. I know that I know where I stand, and I know that you know I have to stand up for my values. And if I've been telling you guys for years to stop rewarding bad business practices because there is no incentive for them to stop if they keep getting your money. This is what's happening at EA with Madden football. They're going through what we've been going through for 10 years, and they've been going through it for many years, but they have such a much it's a much more popular and larger fan base that as much as they complain, there's too many people still giving EA their money, and that's why nothing ever changes. Could you imagine if EA had to explain colossal loss of stock value to their investors? That would not go well, and it would force them to do something. Complaints are important. It's important to complain and to get your voice heard, but it doesn't mean anything if you're still handing over your money. So that's what I want to leave you guys off with. Um, I don't know how long these guys can hold on and drag their feet. I do think a lot of this stuff is smoke and mirrors. They are just putting up appearances so that if and when somebody like iRacing comes to them and says, hey, we want to start making NASCAR games, you guys are in trouble. What's it going to take to wrestle this license? And by the way, the license is not something that Motorsports Games owns outright. A licensing agreement is an agreement between two parties. So you have to remember that NASCAR is also part of that mix. It's not like Motorsport Games could just waive that license and say, we're just going to sell to the highest bidder. NASCAR has to actually have a voice in that transaction. So it's more complicated than people think. However, that's what they're doing. They're trying to drive up their leverage. So I don't want to keep talking about these earnings calls and all this other stuff. I'm so tired of it. If there's actual news concerning game development or something where someone else gets in the picture and we get news that somebody else is going to acquire the license, things like that, I'll talk about it. But I can't do this anymore. And I'm throughout this past year, there have been times where I have actually questioned why I still do this. I don't get anything out of this. You guys know I don't ask people to like and subscribe. I don't make money doing this. I don't monetize. Um, I've always done this. I've been doing this for 10 years because I care about NASCAR. I care about NASCAR video games. There's more important things in life. I get that. But, much like most of you, that has always been the driving force behind what I do. It's just trying to get, uh, you know, that momentum of the public to have a unified message to these developers to try to get better games. That's all it's been about for me, and not that hasn't changed. And I am proud to say that I think I'm the same guy who started doing this 10 years ago. So I hope people realize that, or at least feel that way. I don't think I've changed. I haven't, my motives haven't changed. Um, so yeah, I think I would be failing myself and my values if I told people it's okay to go get this NASCAR Heat 5 DLC. I don't think you should do it. And I told a lot of people to wait and not buy NASCAR Heat 5. I predicted what it would be. I told you guys it was just going to be more or less copy and paste of NASCAR Heat 4, and that's what it really turned out to be. So, um, yeah, I mean, I really hope people stop and actually think about what they're doing. Buying that DLC, it's only helping Motorsport Games. And what we should be doing is doing everything we can to drive that final nail in the coffin. Because the quicker Motorsport Games dies, the quicker eventually we get a video game from somebody else. Motorsport Games doesn't know what they're doing. They came into this just really not, you got to get real game developers who know what they're doing, who care about the product. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I look forward to your comments. Let me know what you think. Later.